This presentation is over psychologist Lewin's three-step model. There are 3 steps for planned organizational change in Lewin's model. The first is unfreezing, the second is moving or executing, and the third is refreezing. We will be focusing on this model from the perspective of a business or an organization. This is a simplified visual of Lewin's model, which we will cover each step in more detail, but just to get a general basic overview, the unfreezing stage ensures that employees are ready for change. Moving into the change phase, which executes the intended change, ending with the refreezing stage, which ensures that the change becomes permanent. In the unfreezing stage, this is the first step in the process. An organization must first show a need for change, and it is common for employees to resist change at first, which makes it crucial for there to be a plan in order to help open their minds to the new ideas and overcome their defense mechanisms. There are some tips that go along with each stage and that can help to lead to a successful overall implementation of the change. Some unfreezing tips begin with communicating a plan. This is going to start mainly from upper management or the leaders responsible for the upcoming change. A large part to the success of a change initiative is communication and keeping the employees informed. Management needs to maintain this communication throughout the entire process, not just at the beginning. They need to relay the overall vision for the change up front. And this constant communication will ensure that every employee feels informed and actively involved in the process. A second tip for unfreezing is to develop a sense of urgency. The management or leaders behind this change need to convey that there's a strong need and that the change is necessary for the organization to move forward. This can be whether there are threats to the company's competitiveness, reputation, or financial status, or any other issue, but it needs to be clear that change is necessary and needs to be executed with a sense of urgency. Another helpful tip in unfreezing is to build a coalition. This is also in the hands of management or the change leaders. They need to successfully convince and prepare opinion leaders within the organization to assist them with the change. They can ask others around them, ask other actively involved employees, but they need to have allies and a strong coalition behind them to support and successfully execute the proposed change. Another helpful tip is to provide support. Management and their coalition need to make employees feel that they are supported. The leaders should encourage employees to voice their opinions or any suggestions and leave an open flow for communication. This leadership will provide support not only to the employees but to the organization as a whole. There needs to be an openness of communication and people to feel like they can talk to each other. A final helpful tip in unfreezing is to allow employees to participate. This can be closely tied to providing support. Employees need to be actively involved in as much of the change process as possible. If they have the opportunity to voice their concerns and give feedback, then they will feel more involved and more likely to have a positive view and experience with the change process. There needs to be encouragement given from management, and this is important for the change to be an organization-wide process with everyone included. The second step in Lewin's model is executing. This is where the actual change occurs, and there may begin to be a period of confusion with employees. There may be new rules to follow, there may be a lot going on, and it may be very stressful. So it's important for management to encourage employees to accept the new ideas and new ways of working, while also maintaining the strong communication during this process. Some helpful tips for the executing stage is to continue to provide support. This goes back to the unfreezing stage, but like I said, there may be stress and confusion while the change is underway. There may be new technology implemented, new procedures that employees have to follow, and they need to feel supported from their management and all of their leaders. And this communication communication channel needs to remain strong and open. A second tip in the executing phase is to create small wins. A change process for an organization may be long. It may be months or years before it is complete. So employees may forget about the overall vision or endpoint to the change implementation. By creating smaller phases or checkpoints along the way, this will help employees stay on track and stay focused. It will allow employees to see success along the way. Finally, a helpful tip in the executing stage is to eliminate obstacles. It's important for management to identify and remove any obstacles that may occur during the change execution. Ideally, these would be taken care of and discussed ahead of time, but during a change process, there are bound to be a few unexpected hurdles along the way. Management needs to be properly prepared and readily know how to address these problems that may occur. The last stage in Lewin's model is refreezing. However, the entire process does not end here. But this refreezing process will crystallize the new ideas for employees and managers, and it's a continuous process to affirm the organization as it evolves. Some helpful tips in the refreezing stage are to publicize success. It is important for management to continue the good communication and share the end results of the overall change with the employees. They can provide statistics if there is available over money saved, money made, or if there are changes in efficiency or productivity which affects the change of the entire organization. Whether it's a change in a manufacturing process or a technology that was made to advance and improve the organization, employees need to be made aware of the success of this change. Another tip is to reward change adoption. Obviously, if the changes occurred, then it's assumed that all employees adopted the change, but management should verbally reward and recognize those who positively embrace the change. Management can go around and thank employees in front of other employees to show their appreciation for the support and help of the change. If employees feel recognized and they feel like they have played a part in the success, they will be more likely to repeat their efforts in the future, and everyone likes to feel appreciated while they're doing their work. A final tip for the refreezing is to embrace continuous change. This is one of the most important tips for a successful change implementation. Although Lewin's model has 3 stages and it appears to end with the refreezing stage, it's important for the organization to remember that the change process is never really over. There needs to be continuous change and communication, which provides a feedback loop available to employees. This strong communication level that was used throughout the unfreezing and changing process need to remain open in order for this continuous change to continue. Employees need to feel empowered and able to discuss problems or issues with their management. This openness will help the overall productivity of the organization and in small changes that may be necessary and occur in the future. The conclusion of today's topic is that it is natural for people to resist change, which means there needs to be strong communication. We have learned from looking at all the stages that strong communication between management and employees needs to stay prominent throughout each process of Lewin's model. Also, this process effectively prepares employees to move through the stages. Lewin has set up helpful tips and 3 key stages to allow for success. Also, the continuous process after the implemented change. There will be new behavioral patterns that become permanent and the organization continues to evolve along the way. So there needs to be continuous improvement and continuous change after the main change has occurred.